Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ian Miller. Tonight, we're joined by comic creator and writer Grant Lankard. Grant, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here, Ian.
Of course, of course. I always love to meet new people, meet new comic creators, and show off their work. So, why don't you take us through this particular comic? So, Memoirs of the Morbid, Orange Volume. What is it about?
Well, it's not about one thing. It's four individual stories. It's a horror anthology in the same style of EC Comics, if you know what I mean by that.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm a huge fan of EC Comics. Obviously, Tales from the Crypt is very special, as well as some of the other crime ones. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of like that. It's over 50 pages. It's black and white. We have stories from a couple different comic book creators, all of whom are pretty cool. There's a lot of great artwork in it. Like I said, it's black and white. Um, there's not only a lot of horror, but also a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah, because that was what EC was also known for, its humor, especially at the most terrifying moments.
Right, a lot of dark humor as well.
Yeah. Well, you could have picked a better time to unleash this because, and unleash is the appropriate word here, because we're in October.
Right. Yeah, so the Kickstarter is gonna end a little bit after Halloween.
Okay.
I think Halloween is on Friday, and then that following Monday we end.
Okay, folks. So you're just in time to check out this delightful project.
Right.
So you said this is four stories.
There's four stories, and then there's a bonus section. So we have a corporate sponsor this time,
Hmm.
which is called Job Corps, which is a employment. Um, it's a job staffing company that
Yeah.
staffs companies with undead employees.
Ooh.
That's why I say it's four stories and then a bonus section.
Yeah. So, like Tales of the Crypt, does this have a narrator?
Yeah, the narrator is called the Ghoul Master, and
Ooh.
he's kind of in the same vein. He's kind of, I guess, like a parody of the Crypt Keeper.
Ooh. I like that. I can already imagine the voice of this guy in my head now. Obviously, not the Crypt Keeper, but very close.
Did you watch the trailer?
No, I did not. They didn't have a chance yet. But if I played here, I'm not sure they was going to hear it on the video. But we could certainly try it.
Well, we got a guy to do an impression of the Crypt Keeper for the trailer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we'll definitely try and check that out. Especially, hopefully, the audience will hear it. If not, the link is below, so you can actually look this up, folks, and actually check on this project. But why don't we show them the page?
Sounds good.
Okay, give me a second, and here we go. Wow. Okay, so you got 61 backers, you got 18 days to go, and you made it pretty close to your goal so far. $1,416. Still, that's a very impressive feat so far.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we're going to make the minimum. The question is how far over the minimum, because I mean, obviously, I think if you talk to most Kickstarter comic book creators, they'll tell you that they set the minimum at their break even point.
Yeah.
but obviously, as a businessman, I don't want to break even. I would like to get more than just breaking even.
Yeah. Well, again, I can see why. And again, this is the appropriate time to, launch this Kickstarter now in Halloween month. So it was a perfect time to do it. I also like the name Memoirs of the Morbid.
Yeah. Thank you.
Creep Show. That Creep Show. There was another one I was thinking about. Creep Show.
Yeah, there were a couple different EC comics. There was obviously Tales from the Crypt, Creep Show, Vault of Horror. There's a bunch.
Yeah. So this is the third volume for what I'm reading.
Right. Yeah, so this is the orange volume. I was doing colors instead of numbers because I didn't want people to think that you had to read them in order because they're all self-contained.
Yeah.
There's no to be continued or any of that nonsense.
Well, that's good. So anytime you want to jump in, folks, you can jump in at any volume you want. This could be your first one, or this could be your third one. It's up to you.
Having said that, we do sell the other volumes as well. There's the red volume and the blue volume as well.
Okay. Let's take a look at the stories. Crucible of the Damned.
Cubicle of the Damned.
Yeah, no, Cubicle of the Damned. Whoops.
Yeah, so this is one of the ones that's a little bit more comical. The idea is there's a 1,000-year-old demon stuck in this cubicle, and the demon is sucking the lives out of all the office workers. And one of the office workers discovers this, and he decides to take action.
Wow. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of people that are in jobs where they had thoughts about this for certain coworkers. Very nice. Who did the artwork on this so far?
I did that one.
I like how you planned it and mapped that out,
I mean, if you look at the cubicles, like you realize like it's kind of a labyrinth. Like you could very easily get lost in that. And it doesn't necessarily make functional sense, but I kind of like that because I've definitely been in cubicles that felt like that.
Yeah, it's almost like a puzzle or a maze. That's actually that it is exactly like a maze. Bubble.
So this story, Bubble, it's about a how do I put this? A very primitive. It's a scientist who discovers a primitive man that's still alive, like in modern day. And he's also working on a time machine, and the two things kind of intersect. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but
Wow. The art style is very detailed.
Yeah. Alberto Pessoa is the name of the artist, and he's really great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Okay, Fiona's Fantasy Forest.
So the idea behind Fiona's Fantasy Forest is it's basically like a children's show, as far as like whether we're talking about like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, um, Pee Wee's Playhouse, Blue's Clues, whatever, like a world of make believe. But basically, Fiona takes a break from going to this fantasy world every week, and while she's gone, the fantasy world goes to hell. here we see some of the fantasy creatures have decided to start a revolution.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. This is pretty much every childhood's nightmare come to life, especially if you grew up in an age where you watch, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Pee Wee, like that. But if this was more demonic versions of those shows, yeah, this would give you nightmares, kids.
Exactly.
Okay, Invaders. Oh, space.
So Invaders is the only story here that's not complete. But I do feel confident that uh, my friend Dave Schuler will be done with it by the time the Kickstarter is done. Essentially, this is sci-fi horror, kind of in the same vein as like the movie Alien,
Hmm.
where basically, sorry if you can hear that meowing in the background. My my cat doesn't get fed until 9, but for some reason he's already freaking out.
It's quite all right.
But yeah, the idea is there's the crew of a spaceship, and they discover that that a deadly alien is on board.
Yeah, the art style here is more kind of like punk rock ish, which definitely fits the mood there. I also like the cybernetic arms that this character has, and the phaser gun. I like it. It's got an edgy type of feeling towards it.
Yeah, so that's my friend Dave Schuler. So he and I were friends from college. We went to college together. We went to art school together, and he asked me if he could do a story in this, and I said yes, knowing that his wife was about to have a baby, uh, but not just a baby, but actually two babies.
Oh my!
And so yeah, so if you're curious why he's running behind on his pages, that's why.
Hey, that's parenthood. When you
Yeah.
have kids, it changes everything, gives you great things, and it'll make you slow down your artwork. So don't worry.
But like I said, he's over halfway done with his pages. His story is only 7 pages, and he has about 3 done. And I'm confident that he's going to get the other 4 pages done in the next couple weeks.
Okay, this sounds great. Just the concept alone sounds interesting. So this is what you were talking to me about earlier: sponsorship.
Right. Yeah. The sponsorship for this is by a company called Job Corps,
Mm,
who their goal is to staff companies with undead employees. And here we have a image from the advertisement that's in the comic book.
and I do have to ask: if the employees are undead, how do they control them? To do everyday jobs. I mean, is there a zap button somewhere that they could?
Magic spells. It's controlled by voodoo.
Okay, then finally something different. You know how many times I've heard people just controlling zombies with the what is it, those collars like in
Right.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah,
Right.
so voodoo is very fresh for me. So I thank you for doing that. Okay, so this is the Ghoul Master.
Yeah, that's our narrator. He's kind of like the Crypt Keeper, except that he's not quite as good at his job as the or as the Crypt Keeper. Um, for instance, he has trouble coming up with puns sometimes.
Okay, I think he needs a gag writer. Just do it like a television host. They write come up with the jokes and all that, and I'm pretty sure they'll work out the puns and all that.
You think we need to hire Bruce Valanche?
If he wants to make a visit to Bruce, I mean, sure, I don't see why not. Yeah, that could be an interesting set for the next volume. Doing an intro where he's trying to be a TV host, and not just a TV host, like a talk show host.
Right.
Okay. Wow, I like the cover.
Yeah, so this is the cover. So we did 4 different covers, each of them kind of cover one of the stories. This is the one for Cubicle of the Damned.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that room. I really don't want to go in that room. I don't know what's in there. Just it's very nice though. Like I said, this is the other cover.
Yeah, so this is the one for Fiona's Fantasy Forest. You can kind of see how it's like a fantasy world, but kind of a little bit distorted. Kind of like
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Playhouse or Blue's Clues or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but just a little bit twisted.
Yeah, if Tim Burton was directing this.
Right. You get the idea.
Yeah. Kids, teddy bears don't drink. I'm just telling you that. Unless if it's Ted, then it's a different story. That's more adult.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is the cover for Invaders, and this is the same artist who did the other art. My friend Dave.
I gotta tell you, your friend Dave, first of all, very great draftsman. Everyone is. But I gotta tell you, this would be a hell of a Halloween mask. Oof.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Goosebumps. Yeah, gives me goosebumps.
Thanks. So then this is the cover for Bubble, which, like I said, this is the time travel / horror story that we did.
I guess they went back to the period of the Romans.
Exactly.
It also kind of reminds me of the Evil Dead films, particularly Army of Darkness. Where travels back to 1300 AD and sees all this. So I'm always interested in a time travel story. Out of time. But yeah, saying it in this period is.
Are you talking about the third Evil Dead movie, Army of Darkness?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that the original name for that was Medieval Dead?
Yeah, I know. And I was like, it sounded like a sick name, and I always had a problem with the fact that Universal's marketing didn't make the connection between the first 2 Evil Deads. I was like, guys, there's a fan base out there. Why don't you just connect it?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Yeah, but I was surprised by when I heard the Medieval Dead. I was like, that sounds like a better title.
It's such a much better title, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I really like that movie. I mean, obviously, I like the. Well, I'm not too crazy about the first one, but the second one is great, and the third one is great.
Yeah. Well, the first one was just a straight up horror movie. It had some original ideas and all that, but yes, straight up horror movie. But the idea that the second and third one was more horror comedy, and they even describe it. It's like going to, one of those haunted fun houses. You laugh and you get scared. You laugh and you get scared.
Right. Sorry, I forgot to plug in my computer. I need to plug. I need to find the cord. Okay, should be good now.
Okay. Okay, so these are obviously the creators. You did that. You were one of the creators of Megaton Man.
Yeah, I worked on a Megaton Man comic book with Don Simpson. He did a comic book recently called Megaton Man Multi-Mentions, and I worked on that.
Wow. And obviously, this is the rest of the creators. Brian K. Morris, another editor. Will Conway. Alberto Pezza. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
I think it's close enough.
I hope it is. I don't know if he's watching. I do apologize if you're watching, Alberto. I do apologize.
I mean, I've talked to him before. He seems like a pretty good guy. I don't think he's gonna like track you down and beat you up or anything.
Well, I hope not. But thank you for actually suggesting that. Okay, so pretty much you're almost halfway with at least one of the stories.
We're over halfway. Oh, you mean as
In
far
production.
as finding or as far
Yeah.
as finishing it? So
Yeah.
so the entire comic book is done. Lettering, writing, art, everything. We have one of the stories is about halfway done.
Okay.
And that's the Invaders story. And like I said, it would probably be done except for the fact that his wife just had twins. And but I feel confident that he can get it done by the end of the Kickstarter.
I'm pretty sure he will.
I like to have these
yeah.
comic books done before I put them on Kickstarter. This time, like I fudge it a little bit sometimes. Like sometimes I'll put them on Kickstarter when they're like 95% done.
Yeah.
This time it's more like 80% done. But like I said, I feel confident that he can get it done.
Oh, I have no doubt he will. Especially, he probably get it done before the deadline, but I'm pretty sure that nobody's worried, especially with your backers, because they clearly like your stuff, and this does look very damn interesting. This is definitely one of the comics I would definitely read. So, yeah. I'm very impressed with it.
Thank you.
So, okay, so since this is your orange volume, orange volume 3, are we going to see other volumes going forward?
Yeah, as long as I continue having ideas, I will continue making these. And of course, I have ideas for other comic books as well. But yeah, I think I have enough material now for a trade paperback, but I see no reason why there can't be more trade paperbacks in the future.
All right. I like that. I like the idea of having more of these volumes out in the world, and people getting more exposure, and also people experiencing new horror stories from indie writers.
Right.
Because we really do need some originality, in comics these days.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, so we got 18 days to go. I'm going to try and play the video, folks. I'm not sure if you're going to hear it, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I think you'll like the trailer.
Yeah. Here we go.
So I couldn't. I don't know about anybody else. I couldn't hear the music.
Yeah,
Um,
for some reason they cut it out. I don't know why that is.
I don't know if you could hear it.
I was able to hear it. I was able to hear the whole thing, but I don't know why, everyone else can't hear it. I do apologize, folks, but you can't watch the video if you go down to the link below. And you might also want to consider backing this project, because I think you're going to guarantee yourself a very fun, scary time, especially if you're horror buffs. And since we're in Halloween month, I think you're going to like this.
Yeah, it's definitely worth your time.
Yeah. Even the music and even the narrator, he did a very good job, by the way.
Thanks.
Imitating that type of Crypt Keeper esque. I kind of want to watch the Tales of the Crypt show right now because of this. Yeah, but I think this is fantastic.
Thanks.
Okay, so we got 18 days to go, folks. They're only at $1,416. I think we got to get them to their goal, don't you?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not worried about it getting funded. But like I said, I would like to get it over the minimum because, like I said, I usually set the minimum at the breaking even point. And I mean, I think like everybody, nobody wants to do the bare minimum, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You want to go uh, beyond that, and make a little more. And it just when that happens, it just shows you that people are very invested in what you have to say.
Yeah, I've been fortunate. I think I've built up a little bit of a following now. People enjoyed the first two volumes, and the first two volumes came out on time. So, like I said, I'm not worried about volume three not coming out in a timely manner.
Still, though, the fact that you have a big gain of following is impressive. After two volumes, I'm guessing it did went up. When each volume came out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the first volume, people were excited about it just because it was something new. But then the fact that volume two came out and people backed that too, I think means that they were enjoying it, which is nice to know.
Was it should be, because again, it goes to show you that people, love new stuff and they clearly like your stuff and they want to invest in it and they want to see more of it. So yeah, yeah, this one still is just interesting, because I also watched Office Space and Exorcist, so I like how you combine those two. So that's very clever.
Right.
Well, folks, you got plenty of time. You got 18 days. So back this project today. It's at the link below. And I don't think you want to miss out on more Memoirs of the Morbid Orange volume, because there's some very interesting stories by very talented people. And if you do love Tales from the Crypt as much as I have growing up with it, or Creep Show, or any of these type of anthology series, you need to back this today. You need to, because I don't want you folks missing out on any of this stuff.
Thank you so much, Ian.
Of course, of course. Okay, so once this is obviously up and it's it's successful, it's been pledged and funded. What's next for you?
So, like I said, the trade, the Memoirs of the Morbid trade, is out next year. I probably shouldn't say that because, well, I mean, like I said, back this comic book. We'll talk about the trade later. And then we have issues of my other two comic books, League of Cryptids and Beowulf, coming out next year as well.
Okay. Well, do you want to talk about this a little bit?
So Beowulf is the guy you learned about in high school, but reincarnated in modern times. and he has a cat with psychic power, or a cat with magic powers, as a sidekick. Mooney is his cat's name, and he's based on my real life cat.
Oh.
And then League of Cryptids is basically like the Justice League or the Avengers, but with cryptids instead of superheroes.
Again, I like that.
Thanks.
But it also goes back to what I've been saying. People want different things. So again, it's always experimentation, saying, okay, what do I think the audience is gonna like, or what do I like? And will the audience like that as well? So it's good that you're trying different ideas or taking new spins on different concepts.
Exactly.
And that's all it is, folks. You just need to have some originality. Not copy clones.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Grant, I can't thank you enough for coming on to share this with us.
Yeah, thanks. This was nice.
Well, like I said to all people who come on here, I just wanted an easy conversation, just an easy talk. Hopefully, make new friends as I go along. And I'm grateful that you came on to talk with us, because now I consider you a new friend.
Well, thank you. I consider you a friend as well.
I'm glad. And you definitely have to come back to show off more. And I'm going to do everything I can to help promote this Kickstarter, because I want more members of the Morbid to succeed. So I'm going to do it as best I can.
Like I said, thank you so much for having me on the show. This is a nice little chat.
Yeah.
And thank you for promoting the comic book.
Of course. Before we do go, folks, I like to just promote my own stuff. And since it's that getting close to that time of year, like I said, Halloween's here, and we have my storefront on tpublic.com, Little Ian merch. So if you type it in the search engine, you get all these great designs. One of my characters, Little Ian, and since it's Halloween month, here's a Halloween design.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now this comes in t-shirts, coffee mugs, baseball caps, the works. You're going to love it. And of course, here's the Triple Threat Comics brand with the company logo with all of our characters inside. So that's going to be exciting. Then, of course, there's my own comic, Codename Hunter. Is a sci-fi spy thriller set in the future. So picture James Bond meets Star Trek, Star Wars, with just a dash of Guardians of the Galaxy, and you get Codename Hunter. We're currently up to 3 issues. I'm actually in the middle of penciling issue 5 as we speak. So that's going to be released very soon. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me obviously on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter, Facebook. I have a Patreon page now, and TikTok. So you just go to the link below, the description below. You can find me there. Okay, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'm Ian Miller, and this has been Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. Have a good night, folks.
Good night.